What's up, everybody? How are you? It's your boy Bill Forster on the check-in, Real Talk Chronicles. And I got some shout outs, stuff like that. First and foremost, rest in peace to my man Eric Dawson. His services are this week. No, Monday, starting Monday. Shout out to Naquan, Yush. How are you? For those that want to pay their condolences, at Benton's Funeral Home at 141st and St. Nicholas. For those that know, Eric, it'd be nice for you to come out, pay your respects. St. Nicholas. For those let me turn that down. And also, I got to give a shout out to the sponsors. I don't have them up there. I apologize for that. Daily Arts and Survival magazine and things like that. Got to give a big shout out to my daughter. Her birthday is today. Shout out, Jess. I hope you're having a good time. You're at the spa doing spa stuff, which that's a good thing. So please do what you do. And we got an interesting show tonight. We're going to talk about the president-elect cabinet party that he's picked in. I have a guest coming in tonight. I'm waiting for him because he is I'm going to speak for him. He is, I guess, a Republican, and I think he voted for Trump. So I want to get his take on views of who Trump put in the cabinet and things of that magnitude. I'm looking for my notes. I don't have them in front of me. I'm kind of discombobulated right now. But we want to talk about that. But before we get into all that, let me ask my panel how they doing. Ty, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm blessed and highly favored, bro.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Rich, how you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm putting up with it.
First, let me just say this. Hey, Vera, with the wonderful last name Forster, I see you. A lot of people are making a lot of hoopla over the fact that Trump did not put any people of color in his cabinet. I personally don't care. I didn't expect him to do that, but
he didn't put Bo Jackson down.
Nah. Shout out to my man, brother Earl is in the building. Earl came in to chime in with us. I appreciate you, Earl, for coming in and speaking your truth tonight. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Good. Yeah, absolutely, man. So I was just telling them tonight what we're going to talk about is the president-elect's cabinet, and we'll try to go through all of them by name and see how we feel about that. I didn't want to speak for you. You and I have a lot of dialogue, sidebar, which I really appreciate and enjoy because you're my man and I love you. So it's always good banter when you and I converse with each other, whether we agree or disagree. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to politics, we have disagreed a lot. Hey, everybody that's chiming in, I see y'all. Cheryl, Stefania, Sister Dell, Stefania, damn, y'all all scared Uncle Kev away. Now, Kev might be chiming in tonight. He might be chiming in. Kev said tonight, he said he didn't want to be, he felt a certain way that if he's the only Republican, he's the only Republican here. So I don't want to speak for Brother Earl. I'll let Brother Earl do that. He's very articulate and he can speak for himself. So first and foremost, I'm going to start off with Earl, you and I have conversed extensively about these elections, coming up to the elections and after the elections. I don't want to ask if you want to divulge. I think sometimes that is a private thing on who you voted for, but I'm just going to be fair to say, due to our conversations, you've given me the impression that you went Republican or you voted for Trump. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay, fair and foremost. With that being said and saying all that, like I said, you and I have talked extensively about Trump and why he became president. If you can articulate in the best of your ability, and I'll let the fellas chime in after that, why did you think he won?
I think the Democrats have gone too far left. Okay. They have allowed the fringe aspects of the party to be on the forefront. Okay. Democrats used to be for or used to at least pretend to be for the common working man. Now it seems like uh, it's all about DEI, gender, the alphabet community. I think they've gone too far left, and they eventually alienated folks that would normally vote for Democrats, and in so doing, they allowed Trump to build a very diverse coalition of voters. Okay, some black, some more Spanish, some women. Uh, like he's came across the board, and some of the main issues again they would talk. The Democrats led with women's rights. Okay, when people have economic trouble, people don't want. That's not the first thing on their mind. Okay, I'm having trouble making ends meet. That's a real issue. So that's why I think Trump won. People have at least say, whether you like him or not, people have there's certain takeaways from his first president run. There were no wars. By all general metrics, the economy was good. The border was under control. Those were main issues in this election.
Okay.
Issues that the Democrats didn't fare too well in.
Yeah, and you know what's so funny when we start looking at the statistics of who voted for, first and foremost, a lot of people didn't come out and vote. When you look at the statistics of the breakdown of people that voted, you know, when you look at educated women with a degree, when we say educated women with a degree, the VP won that. She lost 72%. 72% of, I guess, what do they call it? White Anglo-Saxon, the Christian rural area voted for Trump. Uneducated men voted for her. And those are, when they say uneducated, they're talking about men with degrees. When they talk about educated women, she won, she lost, President-elect won. I don't have the statistics for me. I'll try to pull them up. I don't want to come off screen. He won majority of the white women. He lost educated white men, I think, and he lost educated African American men. If I remember the statistics off the top of my head, I think 78% of African American men still voted for her, which is down from what the vice president, what Biden won. A lot of that,
and down even more from when Obama won.
Right, definitely. And let me just put this out in the universe. Anybody that wants to chime in tonight, inbox me, DM me, find a way, tell me, and I'll send you a link. You can join this conversation at all means. There's a lot of variables with this. There might be a point. Let me ask you a question, and I'll bring Ty in and his thoughts on this. Do you think America was ready for a woman president, period?
Well, that's a fair question. What I'll start off the answer is this. As the Democrats were scrambling to understand and come to terms with the defeat, I saw a clip of Willie Brown, of all people. He was asked, he was being asked questions on this. And what he said was, did the Democrats do enough after Hillary lost okay, to say at this time, can a woman win the presidency? He said, he said, I don't think they did enough in doing that research, or if anything came back that should have given them pause, Kamala shouldn't have been the president elect. Okay, so I think now, if you ask me personally, I'm more about can I trust or do I believe in your competency in said whatever that you're being asked to do? Okay, do I think certain things men do better than women and women do better than men? Yup, I do. But I respect competency, and competency is displayed. It's not pushed and forced down anyone's mouth. It's just something that people accept just in the manner in which you move, speak, understand, and defend a topic or situation. That's how people define competency. So I'm not sure if this was a referendum against women, or it was we didn't trust her competency.
Ty, I'll let you chime in.
I don't think it was about pleasure to meet you, brother Earl. I don't think it was about her competency. I think she was more than competent than Trump to be president. Okay. I don't think it was about the country being ready for a woman president, because I think this country is more than ready for a woman president, especially a woman who's qualified, whether she's black or white or of any persuasion. What I feel, and I kind of agree with you on, is that the village spoke when it came to economics, and the fact that we had 4 years of the Democrats' rule, and more people were willing to trust what Trump was going to do, or what his administration will do to bring this country back from the economic defeat that we've sustained in the last 4 years. My thing is this: I was willing to trust her more than him, because remember this, it's the administration that runs the country. It's not the president. The president is more so a figurehead. It's the individuals they surround themselves with. And I feel that she didn't want to speak out too negatively about the Biden administration before she won or lost. And that's what hurt her. And I had hope that if she did get in, that she would have done things differently than what we've experienced with the past Democratic administration we've been dealing with. She didn't get in. So now we have to, but let me say this. So she didn't get in. Now we have to deal with whatever the Republicans have, or whatever Trump has in plan and in store for us. And by what we've seen so far, with who he's picking to surround himself with administratively, I'm a little nervous, a little suspect about the whole administration so far, especially with this individual that they're picking to run the Justice Department, who has no experience. So with that being said, I mean, you know, I yield to
Rich.
Rose.
Yeah, we're gonna bring Rich in. Rich, I don't know that you heard the question that I asked. Go ahead.
I didn't hear the question.
I said the question was, did you think the reason why the vice president didn't win was because she was a woman, or do you think this country wasn't ready for a woman president, whether she was woman of color or just Caucasian woman?
Well, I think it was not just one thing. It was a couple of things. Number one, she came in to the race with only 2 months to run. So she had to run on Biden's agenda, right? Number two, the economy, no matter what they say as far as how, you know, the people that are in economics see that things are better than they were, at the lowest level, which is where most people of color are, at the gas tank, at the grocery store, wherever they went to spend their money, they was hurting, right? And the Democrats spent a lot of time talking about Trump, right? They spent a lot of time talking about him and his shenanigans and all of the smoke and mirrors he laid out there. You know, for the most part, everybody knows who Trump is.
Mhm.
This guy unapologetically says whatever the fuck is on his mind. And people got distracted with his show. And at the bottom of it, of the bottom of the whole thing is he's promising shit that whether he could deliver it or not, he said what they wanted to hear. Now, I'm not a fan of Kamala. I'm not a fan of Biden. And I'm damn sure not a fan of Trump. I mean, we sit around arguing about who's the best master. My master better than your master. My thing with Trump is I'm afraid that he is not equipped to deal with the powers out there that want to see the United States go down, like Russia, i.e. Putin, and this dude from Korea and the Chinese, right? He talks that gangster shit, but talking gangster and being gangster is two different things.
Absolutely.
This dude, Trump, allows Putin to get too close to information, and his talks with Putin, he thinks that's his friend. Putin gangster. And when you deal with a narcissist, you know that all you got to do is make him think he likes you. You like him. And he'll tell you and do anything for you.
No, right.
I'm not prepared to do a psychosocial on Trump, but what we can say is this.
Earl,
Yes.
we have turns on this show. It's my turn.
Well, I thought, well, then that was a real pregnant pause. My bad. That was a pregnant pause.
Bro,
okay.
I'm not going to jump on top of your whatever you got to say.
Good.
All right. I know you ready to defend your boy, but you know I'm just giving you my opinion. That's all it is.
And I'm fine with that.
All right. So with that, I'm going to let you go because you're ready.
I think that sometimes people put their fears before the reality. The reality is when Trump was president, the United States was not involved in any wars, proxy or otherwise. That's a fact. That ain't my feelings. That's a fact. Right now, we're in 3 proxy wars, and Biden just made one of them worse when he gave Ukraine those missiles. What did Putin do? He said, "Yo, we reevaluating our how we gonna use nuclear weapons if we feel threatened." Okay, Biden and his folio ass just made things worse. Okay, that's a fact. We gave Ukraine permission to use these missiles, fam. You like that didn't happen on Trump's watch. And if you want to be like, I think it's a crime. He should have got the Nobel Peace Award for that accord that he struck with the Arabs and the Jews. He should have got the Nobel Peace Prize. Like he really did something there. There was no wars on his watch.
Explain that one to me, Earl. I'm not understanding that.
Was it called the? Let me play the same game. Let me look that up. I think it's called the.
Mark said you're wrong. He's talking about Syria.
Wasn't Israel involved in those talks? And there was another Arab country, and Trump put that together. And the shit that was so sad is that Biden didn't want initially to sign it after he got in because he knew he'd have to give Trump some props for it. But he had got the main parties to agree. Okay. He had got the main part, he had sat them down. At some point, we have to at least acknowledge
Sat
that we
who
were not
down?
in wars while
Who
Trump
did he
was.
sit down? I'm trying to understand what you're talking about.
What I'm saying to you is most of the times when we have these kinds of conversations, people try to uh, state that Trump is not qualified or is going to fumble these foreign relations. When in fact, while he was the president, somehow or another, we didn't have any wars. Is it a coinky dink? Somehow or another, while Biden has been in charge, we're involved in a few wars. Okay, we're proxy involved in that Palestine Israel. We proxy involved because Iran has been tinkled in it. There is a problem there. We're actually in a war with China, whether people understand it or not. It's a trade war, but it is a war. They are
And
fighting, and
can I,
right now we're getting our ass kicked. Okay, right
can
now
I,
we're getting our butt beat on that trade war.
can I
Okay,
interject for 1 minute, Earl?
sure.
You say we weren't involved in any wars during Trump's administration, but I think you negate the fact that Obama came in office prior to Trump, right? And he closed the doors on Afghanistan, brought everyone home, and throughout the Trump administration, they ridiculed him for that. They said, "Oh, we should have left people there." And when I'm telling you, from what I've learned about government, and they turn around telling you, "Oh, we should have left officers there, or we should have done this," you better believe they sent officers back over there. They just not broadcasting it. Okay, all them countries over in North Africa, we have military over there. It may not be broadcasted, but I'm telling you, and they've been there for a while. Since his
America has bases and troops around the world. I have to concede that point. But the word war, conflict, we got to be able to delineate what that means. Okay. And what I'm saying is while Trump was president, we were not in any wars, proxy or otherwise.
we mean in America.
What okay,
Because
right
technically
now,
America's not in war right now. We're just
uh, uh,
back in the Ukraine.
and that's very serious because it's against Russia. And when we gave them permission to use those missiles, Putin came right on Russian TV and said, "You know what? We are reevaluating what we will use as a provocation to use our nuclear warheads." Okay, that's what he said. If it's a lie, Putin told him. All right. So Biden's decision has moved us closer to war than any of us are really willing to sit here and admit. Okay. He's doing stuff at the tail end that's making shit worse. Okay. And why is that Ukraine war even resonate louder? We all know that Biden's little son was over there on some extortion ish. Okay. We all know that. All right. So, what was part of that extortion? Was it weapons? What was because he went over there on a money grab, okay? And clearly he got some money and he referenced the big guy. All right. And if any of us don't think he was talking about his father, I don't know why we even on this panel. Okay, bro. There's some funny business as it relates to Ukraine. You mentioned Afghanistan. Biden withdrew from Afghanistan so bad those soldiers got killed on the withdrawal. Okay, everyone told him you withdraw the civilians first and then the army personnel. Biden said F that, did it opposite. They were shooting at them planes while we was leaving there. And then we turn around and want to prosecute Trump because the families of those fallen soldiers wanted him to come see them at the grave. Like, bro, you gotta give, like, at some point, well, you gotta give the devil his due, man. We didn't have no wars under his watch.
Let me just read some comments. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. I got my co-host, Richard Williams, in the building, Ty Butler. I got my special guest, and he's always welcome to come back, Earl, my Harlemite brother, Earl Majette. I'm just going to read some comments from people. Anybody wants to join this conversation, inbox me, text me, whatever. You're more than welcome to come in and chime in, or you can just do what you're doing from the sidelines, and I appreciate it. So,
Bill, I got to ask Earl a question.
Oh, okay, let me just read this comments.
Let him read the comments, Rich.
Okay. Stefania said, Brother Earl is not lying. The numbers speak so loudly. Michelle said, America is not ready for a woman president. She also says both women were more qualified and still America went for a man. Joyce says, so America chose a racist and he's surrounding himself with people just like him. Mark says, what does Project 25 mean to Black Trump supporters? And when he also said you were wrong, Earl. He was talking about Syria. Al B is in the building, my brother. Naquan, he was like Nobel Peace Prize, question marks. Al B said Muslim countries coming together. Mark also said, bro, when your own generals say he's not a good leader, you have a problem. My former Admiral McCarvin, said the man is a coward. Trump appeals to money, nothing more. He started January 6th. Albie says, we gave Ukraine those weapons a while ago, knowing well and good they would be used. Stefania says, I don't know why Biden okayed that. He's making matters worse. Stefania also said Putin will further escalate this to our detriment. Albie says Putin will respond with direct hit on Kyiv. That's just me. James Baker said, what you fail to realize is that history is repeating, just as what's happening during the run-up to World War II with Hitler when he overran Eastern Europe. Putin was actually richer than Musk. Mark says Trump approved the withdrawal. It's just that he didn't win the election. Naquan, he says Trump brokered that pullout. Those are military men. Go ahead, Rich. You can ask your question. We can come back to any of those questions.
But Biden's team orchestrated it. They obviously they did a piss poor job. The families of those soldiers that died had Trump come and speak at the funeral, at their memorial service. Okay, they were highly critical of the Biden administration for how that went. We can say whatever we want. That's what the family said. Okay, let's give them that. If the families felt that way, come on. American people died. Now,
I'm gonna let Rich come in, but also we're talking about a man that doesn't respect POWs or people that have lost, become amputees in the military. He doesn't want to take pictures with them. He doesn't want to be associated with them, and he calls them losers. Go ahead, Rich. I'll yield back to you.
Earl, you said that that when Trump was in office, we didn't have any wars or conflicts, right?
We were not in any wars.
Okay.
Yes.
So when he came into office, which war did he stop? Or did he come into office with no wars? Did he stop a war, or he came in and there was no war? Because I'm trying to understand, which war did he come into office and dead, so now there's no more war?
No, what I am saying.
Or did he walk into a situation where there was no war?
What I am saying is that somehow or another, Trump was able to broker these tense hot spots around the world, and that they did not erupt in conflict during his presidency. And
there was no conflict. There was no war that the United States was currently involved with when he walked into the seat.
So now that we're in three right now, what does that mean?
So he rode the wave of a conflict that didn't exist while he was in office and took credit for it, like he did something for that to happen.
Not true.
We don't know what
Not,
Trump
not
up.
look.
You don't know
When
I'm
we're
just
talking
asking a
about,
question because you
when we're
said that
talking about,
while he was the president, there was no conflict. Like it was because of him. So either he came in with there being no conflict, or he came in and there was a conflict and he stopped it.
he definitely stopped the Iran-ish. Iran got in check when Trump was in
So,
office.
so we was
Okay.
in. So we were at war when he got in office.
No, we wasn't in war, but Iran was doing
Okay, so
Iran
when he
shit.
came in, there was no war, right? And while he was in office, there was no war.
In other words, just to clarify, I think what Rich is trying to say, Earl, is that conflicts came up while Trump was in office. He handled them. How he handled them is questionable. We don't know what he did, what he gave up, how he handled them, but there were conflicts. Every time there's a new administration, there's always conflicts with America. So don't think that while he was in his 4-year tenure, there were no conflicts. It's how he handled them, and how Biden chose to handle his, and how Obama chose to handle his. We don't know. All we know is what they choose to share with us. You understand?
But what we also know what is happening right in front of us. I think it's fair to say that the Russian-Ukraine war started on Biden's watch. Okay.
I think, and the key word you said is what we know is what's happening right in front of us. What I'm thinking and how I feel, which is my opinion, is that guess what? I think this administration has been more open with a lot of things that have gone on around the world and within the administration than the Trump administration has. So we don't even know. Stuff could be, let me tell you, stuff could be going on in another country. America could be funding it, and we would have no clue depending on who the administration is and who's in the presidency.
I'll even
My
look.
understanding of this whole conflict between Russia and the Ukraine is simply that the Ukraine wants to join NATO, right? NATO is in direct conflict with Russia. Now, if you remember back in the 60s with Kennedy, when the United States was telling Russia they can't occupy Cuba with weapons because they were supporting Cuba, right? And the United States says, yo, man, they right here. They too close to us and you are our enemy. So you cannot support that. So
The Monroe Doctrine. The Monroe Doctrine.
And finally, the Russians said, yo, what? You know what? You right. We out of that. Now, to me, when it comes to this Ukraine business, that's the same thing. The Ukraine sits on the border of Russia. Every time there was a World War I and II, Ukraine was the doorway where Europe entered to attack Germany. I mean, Russia.
You mean Germany attacked Russia? But
I don't mean to correct you, Rich. I'm gonna let you finish. But Ukraine was part of.
Finish, brother.
They were all the Soviet Union. It was all one country.
Can I finish?
I just wanted to correct you.
I don't ever jump on you when you talking, bro. You got to see to always jump on or act like you need to defend somebody.
Nah, I'm just letting you
Rich,
know.
go ahead. Go ahead, Rich.
Please shut up for a second.
I'm correcting you, man. I ain't shutting up. Get it right. If you
come on. Stay focused, fellas. Stay focused. Come on.
Listen. I mean, you finished what I'm saying.
I was saying back then, all I was just telling you is back then the Ukraine was and Russia were all one. It was the Soviet Union.
And that's what I said.
No, you didn't say that. But
no, you wasn't listening.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
All right. Everybody, wait, take a second. Everybody, this Real Talk Chronicles.
I'm on the same page in a sense with a lot of people that I don't believe that we should be involved with that shit.
All right.
I agree.
Right? So however that plays out is how it plays out. Whether that's Biden, whether that's Trump. But the thing with Trump is he got skin in the game when it comes to Russia. And Earl saying that Biden has skin in the game when it comes to the United States as part of it. So at the end of the day, you know, who's going
Hunter Biden is going to jail based on
who's going to jail?
Hunter Biden. He already copped to it.
Hunter Biden goes under the jail.
But he's going to jail for BS. He's going to jail for being in possession of a weapon and being a drug user. That's what they
No. Hunter is going to jail because he was over in Ukraine negotiating some sort of business deal that involved the big guy.
But
Okay.
that's what they were trying to convict him on. That's not what they convicted him on.
Because Trump is already convicted of 35 fucking felonies. His ass needs to be in jail. So if we want to talk jail, let's talk conviction.
And let's talk the difference of them. Has anyone?
All right, hold on. Time out for a second. Time out. Hold on. Pause for a second. Everybody, listen. You all guys are making your points. I want y'all to do it respectfully. I want y'all to rock out. I'm going to let y'all flow. I just want to read some comments, and then we're going to pick up that point where we said about Hunter Biden going to jail, and we talk about 34 convictions or 35 convictions for Trump. All right, let me just go back to some statements and stuff like that, because people are chiming in. They have a lot to say, and I want them to get their point across. I'll post them up. You'll be able to see them. I don't know if we saw what my brother Albie said. He says we gave Ukraine these weapons a while ago, knowing well and good they would be used. We can always chime in on these things. Stefania says, she says, I don't know why Biden okayed that. He's making matters worse. She also says, Putin will further escalate this to our detriment. Albie says, Putin will respond with direct hit on Kiev. That's just me. James says, my man Guy, he says what y'all fail to realize is that the history will be repeating itself just as what happening during the run up with World War II, Hitler, Eastern Europe, Putin. I think I've read that before. I'm just skimming, but I'm putting them up on the screen. Mark says Trump approved the withdrawal. It's just that he didn't win the election. Okay. Let's see. My brother says right here, and these are military men talking, fellas. So I just want people to be perfectly clear. Trump broke of that pullout. Baker also says, I'm sorry, I'm trying to make sure I get this right with this computer. Let's see. Hold on. Here we go. James says that Putin, as his legacy, wants to recreate the whole USSR. Remember, Putin started the war when he exiled Crimea on 2014, but Obama didn't want to risk directly starting a nuclear war, so he fell back. What's your point on that, Earl?
My point is that things happen in the world based on their impression of what America is prepared to do or not do. Okay, when they know, like we just was talking about the Monroe Doctrine. What was it? Walk softly, but carry a big stick. When the world knows America they walking softly, but they carry the big stick. There is a manner in which things are done in the world. Okay, when I said Iran fell back, give the devil his due. Iran fell back. Iran wasn't shooting missiles into Israel like they doing right now. They wasn't doing that. Okay.
Rich, follow up with that. What's your thoughts?
I'm a yield to my man Ty.
No. Come on. Don't do that. Come on. Say your piece, bro. Come on.
Yo, I'm just like confused with, the way some people think when it comes to this man, Donald Trump, and how he, to me, in my opinion, is a threat to the country as a whole in so many different ways, to our democracy, because he wants to change the rules and law to suit him. He is a straight coward when it comes to defending this country. He's yielding to dictators because they're teaching him how to be like them, how to take over your country so you don't have to worry about an election. Most of the people are running behind Trump because they feel like he's going to put more money in their pocket, and that's it.
And you don't say Democrats
That's the whole
You
point.
don't think a lot of these congressmen come to you don't think a lot of these congressmen come into office not having a bunch of bread and then leave out being rich as fuck? Even I tell you, like one of the things that I remember when when cable was first new 100 years ago, there used to be something that came on called C-SPAN, and it used to like show you those congressional hearings and stuff like that. I still watch some of those hearings, and I saw one when Matt Gaetz, the guy that obviously people got problems with being AG, he was sitting there throwing um what's the old white lady's name for the Democrats, the senator
Pelosi.
Pelosi. He was throwing her under the bus because her husband was making a $6 million stock transfer or something, and he was getting after her with the realness. How does a senator, even a long-term senator, how's her husband moving $6 million? What are they doing under the table to have that kind of money? Okay, like, you say what you want about Trump, but he came in as a millionaire. He didn't even take the presidential salary. He said, "Keep that 200,000. I'm good." Okay.
Let me interject. Let me just interject with that. Also, I'm gonna let you come in, Ty, but let me just interject with this. Trump also, when he had the Secret Service, and you and I conversed about this, Earl. He had the Secret Service. He charged them to stay at Mar-a-Lago, wherever this place is, and he had them built. He built them, and where did that money go? That went back to his pocket. Now, of course, there's always a tab when somebody pays something, but you don't think that's a conflict of interest?
What I'm gonna be very honest with you. On first blush, I don't remember the whole situation, but for all intents purposes, the government needed a place to stay, and he allowed them to stay at his mansion. Basically, that's what you're telling me, right?
Yes.
Okay. And we're throwing him under the bus because he didn't allow it to be free. Is that what we're doing? Or like, what was he
I'm just
supposed
asking
to
you,
do?
is that a conflict of interest?
It's a conflict of interest if he wanted them to do it. Hey, this is where you got to stay. I'm all on your side at that point. If it, from a logistics standpoint,
Well, if he's staying there at his own location and he's telling them that they got to pay him to stay there, that's a conflict of interest.
Can I say
but
this?
he didn't make them stay there.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm gonna bring
deal.
Ty in. I'm gonna bring Ty in. Go ahead.
They were doing Secret Service work. They were his executive protection. They're protecting him.
Yeah.
They're there for him. No other purpose but for him. And he bills the government because they're there. It makes it more convenient for him for them to be at Mar-a-Lago. Okay. So that there was no need to build a government on that. And to what you said about the 200 grand, we don't even know if he took it or not.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
I mean, listen, with the financial issues he's had over the years, I wouldn't be surprised if he funneled it somewhere else and got it another way.
And that's what we always do in these conversations. We're never going to ever say, like, okay, but we won't say, but Obama took that 200,000. Okay, we won't say that.
Let me finish my point, though, right? My point is this. Yes, you have some wealthy politicians. They were wealthy before they became politicians because some of them maybe had good law practices, came from good firms. Who knows what? They could have came from money. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? That's neither here nor there. Okay. What I'm saying is this. When you're in those positions, as whether you're a congressman or a senator or a lawyer, your mindset has to be geared towards the people, okay? Not necessarily what the parties have their issues are. It has to be basically what their mindset is towards the people. And I tell you, both sides, they don't give a damn about the people. Neither one of them do. Okay, I just felt at this stage, at this point, that a sister may have went in there And despite what the administration she came from, she might have went in there and changed a few things around to benefit a whole lot of different people. And true, I don't agree with her with their administration, uh, 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 their stand on putting. Sometimes I feel they put the LGBT community before they even put minorities, blacks and Hispanics.
Exactly.
And I have a problem with that. But I still feel that she might have went in there and tried to do good for a lot more people than this guy is, because his whole administration and him, they're geared to the top 3% of this country, and that's it. And you can see it just by who he's surrounding himself with. Okay?
Well, tell me this, man. See, and this is where I feel that as black folks, like, we fall into the hope business. For all intents purposes, you just said, I know the Biden administration didn't do well for us or the economy or whatever these last 4 years. We also know that she was the vice president. She was down lock, stock, and barrel with that.
But
let
not
me interject, Ty. Let me interject. Earl, I'm gonna yield back to Ty after I say this. We all know the vice president
has no power.
Has no power. It's just like the deputy PC in the police department.
Yep.
They don't do anything. The police commissioner via the mayor makes all the decisions. So when people are holding her accountable for the border czar and all that, let's knock it off. It's just want to now throw darts at somebody.
No, but she was hired as the board. But they did name her the border czar. I've looked at those old.
But Earl, I'm not disputing that. But what I'm trying to say is that they don't have any power. It still goes to the president. He still makes all the calls. He still makes all the calls.
Well, guess what? You know where she killed herself at? They a couple of the few limited interviews that they did, they gave her the money shot. They asked her on more than one occasion, would you do something different? And she said no.
Understood. Earl, understood.
And I don't disagree with you, especially on The View, when Sonny asked her, what would you do different? And she said, she sat back and she said, no, I wouldn't do anything different. But you got to understand, a lot of times they're playing chess. They're not playing checkers. She can't necessarily damn the administration she's coming from. You got to look at it like Bill said, right? If you know anything about the hierarchy where Bill and I came from, the police department. Right now, you had the commissioner of the police department step down a few months ago. You had administration, different individuals in the mayor's office step down. You know who didn't step down? The first deputy commissioner. You know why? Because the first deputy commissioner makes they just there. They're there as a figurehead. You know what I mean? And they're there in the same sense like the vice president. God forbid something happened to the president, then this person, like something happened to the commissioner, then this person will step up and be that.
Well, I promise you, JD Vance will not be a figurehead. Okay, you'll be able to throw me on the carpet sometime after this, or you're going to have to agree. He's going to be active. When I think of all the places they were sending him, huh?
He's a problem. He's a problem, bro. For
our people,
he's a problem. He's a big problem. That's the dude who wanted to rewrite education and take the history out of education because he don't want people knowing the truth because of how families will react and how people have been reacting and how some young white kids are reacting to the truth when they find out the truth about how this country has treated Black and Hispanic and Asian people.
I think JD Vance is the classic hillbilly. Okay. He did not come from, he's not no blue blood cracker. No. He not no blue blood. He dealt with addiction in his family, dealt with poverty in his family. What I'm saying is that he has been out and about speaking, defending everywhere. I promise you, in this presidency, JD Vance will not be a figurehead. We won't be saying what the hell JD Vance was doing. He was just chilling. He's going to be active. And like it or not, one of the obvious jobs, the job that they advertised for Harris to do was to be the border czar. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending upon your real perspective, the one real job that she was publicly tasked to do got worse.
Okay,
Rich,
you know
hold on,
why?
Ty. Let me bring Rich in. Rich, what's your point on this?
You know, when Donald Trump ran for president in 2016, right?
And I'll come back to you, Ty. Go ahead.
He ran against the entire Republican Party. It wasn't not one of them that had nothing good to say about him. And he talked shit, not just about each and every one of them. He talked about their wives. He talked about their children. He disrespected them in ways that was just straight up ridiculous. They did not support him. They said how terrible he would be. Once he won the nomination, they all fell in line behind him. He put certain people in, and all those people that said whatever they said about how he was as a person and as a politician ate crow and got right behind him. He talked about this dude, Marco Rubio, Little Marco, and all these other people, right? He talked mad shit about him. Now they're working for him. They all fall in line for behind him because he doesn't owe them shit. None of them supported him. He won anyway. Now the party is not, I'm not even calling it the Republican Party. It's Trump's party. And Trump does whatever he wants to do with it and says whatever he wants to say. They put a script in front of him. He don't even read that shit. He said, I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want to say. But when he got elected, he didn't even think he was going to get elected. He didn't even have no policies in place. So what the Republican Party did is they got behind him and said, okay, you won. Here's some structure to what you should be doing.
Are you going to walk out that front door or this door?
Look,
I got it.
You got it?
I got it. You can lock that door. Yeah, so he came in and everybody's falling behind him because this country now that was once Republican, these people aren't even Republican now. They're Trumpers. Right? Straight up. And Trump don't give a fuck about nothing other than what Trump wants to do. He'll say whatever he has to say to make you happy. But
I think Trump is a nationalist.
People need to remember, and I'm talking about New Yorkers, and I'm talking about New Yorkers, especially people of color. This guy is exactly who he was back when he was telling us to lock up and execute the Central Park Five. He's the same guy when he was not allowing black people.
Give me 1 second. Keep going. Give me 1 second. I want to respond to that. Me and Bill had a conversation on this.
Go ahead.
But before you do that, can I just address the border situation real quick?
Sure.
Okay.
She was the border czar, right? As the border czar, when they finally put a plan together, what did they do? He called his people and told them not to pass the bill because he wanted to wait until he got into office to handle the situation. True or not?
No, that's what they told you. Like if Trump had all that power in the White House after he was gone, how the fuck he get kicked out? If he was that strong,
It wasn't the
Kicked
White
out.
House.
He got
It wasn't the
voted
White
out,
House.
Earl.
Wait,
He got
Rich.
voted out.
It wasn't the White House. It was Congress and the House of Representatives, where he prevented them from passing the bill. They were put in effect.
but the Republicans didn't have a majority in the second 2 years of his presidency. Trump had.
Oh, no. The Republicans had a majority in the House of Representatives. They didn't lose that. The Democrats had the majority in the Senate and they just lost it. Okay, they had the majority, and he called his people, like Rich said, his Trump people who were behind him, and they would not let that bill passed. We don't know what would have happened if that bill passed and she was the border czar. And that was almost a year ago.
No, that was way more than a year ago. But hold on.
Okay, so there it is. So how do you know what she would have done as the border czar if you don't allow her to do her job?
Hold on. Earl's going to get Trump. Straighten all this shit out.
Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Foster.
With
my co-host, Richard Williams, my co-host, Ty Butler, and my special guest, Brother Earl. And, we're going to have to bring Earl back as much as he wants to because we need Kevin. I know Kevin told us earlier, he didn't appreciate him being the only Republican. So now we got another Republican. If I fair to say, I don't know if that's really what your title is.
I want to publicly say this about my man Earl.
Yeah.
I love Earl.
Oh, I love him too. That's my guy. I rock with him hard.
Because love is as love does. You done know me a long time. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Look, Rich, I was laughing about it to myself earlier, man. I know you a long time. Okay. Only people that call you Dickie know you for long. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
If they don't know Dickie, okay.
They don't know Rich.
They don't know Rich. Okay. So, from playing basketball, from you being on the hill a long time ago, okay? I know
we go back like train smoke.
For sure.
Yo, E. That's real talk. You one of the few people that still know what B-Fly mean. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
A lot of people don't even know that was the name in the street. So you know that game from the college to the street. So love is love. Listen, the bottom line is we all come together. We can converse about our differences, whether we agree or disagree at all stages. Let me tell you something. Earl and I, we got banter every damn day. But it's all respectful and it's love. But I even say to my man sometimes, I say, yo, who are you? And he be like, yo, Bill, you being arrogant. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, but it's love because I would never disrespect my dude and he would never disrespect me, whether we agree or disagree. But the bottom line is that's why I told him, I said, yo, come on and share your truths and your feelings, because the bottom line is this is what real talk is all about. People being able to converse with each other and sharing their feelings. Let me read some comments and stuff like that. And then we're going to get back into this, everybody, because we still haven't even discussed about the parties, his cabinet at hand. Everybody, like I said, you're always welcome to join this group and come in next week. We'll talk more about this because it hasn't even got here yet where he gets elected. So we're scared. Personally, his cabinet got me on my heels. There's so many things going on. I'll put them up in the comment real quick. We can read them, and then I'm gonna keep it pushing. What James is saying right now, I think about Hitler and Musk.
That's a repeat, Bill.
Okay, yeah, okay. Mark said this. Trump approved the withdrawal. Okay, yeah. Let me go back to all the juicy stuff that's been coming up. Okay, let's see. This is obviously we got to move past the scorecard. So what's next? We should build free trade schools in all cities, provide free tuition for the underprivileged Black and Brown. What do you feel about that, Earl? As I go to the next statement,
I feel they did us dirty when they took the trade schools out of our education and pushed us towards a get your college degree when the happy ending wasn't waiting for us there. When those trades give you a chance to be your own boss, give you a chance to be outside of the matrix. We found out to our dismay that those degrees and that student loan debt ain't all that cute when you can't go, you can only go but so far in the glass ceiling in corporate America. Okay.
Ty, what's your thoughts on that?
So it's funny you say that, right? I saw an interview today on the news where there's a school here in Atlanta that's actually doing that. And now realize trade school today is not a trade school of yesterday like it used to be. Trade schools we used to have used to be based on labor and industrialism. Right now, a trade school has to be based on technology. So What I saw was it was a school where they were teaching high school kids dentistry. They were teaching them all the different tech savvy stuff they needed. Then when they get out of high school, they wouldn't even have to go to college. They can go right into an internship and not accumulate the debt of college if they choose not to, and go right into their trade, and they're learning. And I mean, it's amazing what I saw. But if more cities took on plans like that, we would have we'd have a better workforce and a better economy out there right now.
Rich, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You walking like Candyman. Sit your ass down and chime in on this shit. What you think about this question up here?
I can't see it.
You don't have my glasses on. He can't see.
It says we got to move past the scorecards. What's next? We should build 3 trade schools in all cities, provide free tuition for the underprivileged Black and brown or white people, like kids.
Well, I agree with that. I mean, in the sense that the election is over. Trump's president, right? We should be getting behind whatever our best interests are, right? So all of that, oh, we don't like him and this and that. Okay, that's already established. You don't like the motherfucker because of whatever. The still fact remains is that we need things for our people. We got to get behind the people that are going to make this thing happen. And if they don't, we got to hold them accountable. So whether you voted for him or not, and especially the guys that did vote for him, right, on the premise that he would do certain things, y'all got to be the ones that put your foot in his ass and say, yo, you didn't handle your business. Because you don't give a fuck what people that didn't vote for him says. All they care about is guys like Earl and anybody else that voted for him. Yeah. So if y'all don't put the fire to him to produce all of this stuff that he promised, what's it all for? We arguing against who's the best slave master.
Yeah.
My master better than Earl master.
Yeah. Like the Guan said, he said we were already in Iraq and Afghanistan when he took office in 2016. Rock says Trump just cowarded to dictators around the world. Russia annexed a part of Ukraine and Trump did nothing. You know, it's so funny. We want to talk about the office, the people. I'm just going to read some more of these comments and put them up here. Baker said, Orange agreed to the nuclear reductions and wasn't insinuating anything. When Trump terminated the nuclear treaty, Iran started enriching uranium again and started pushing its allies, Hamas. Any comments, questions on that before I go to what place else? He also says, to create conflict in the Middle East. Rock also says, he says North Korea troops are in Asia and Ukraine right now. 2 dictators trying to take over Europe. Stefania says, we had enough problems here in the USA. We don't need to be involved in any of their proxy war, billions and billions of dollars wasted. Mark, what does Mark say? Okay, he said, what did Trump do for the Black community? He's a man that has made it. No, he doesn't like Black men counting his money. It's simple to me. You vote for who you vote for. But I try to stand for principle. This man had criticized the country and its members of the military, all on flaws. But Trump is demonstrably a horrible human being. Let's see. Baker also says, and these are all former military people, Earl, that are commenting. How they feel about.
I know Rose, right.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, you know, different things strike people for different accords. Baker said Donald Trump is a manipulated egomaniac who do with it, and Putin knows it. You know what I'm saying? These are things Joyce also says. So I'm just putting them up there. I'm skimming them. Trump's entire family was involved in illegal activities when he was in office. Bang. What's your thoughts on that, Earl?
There you go.
They indicted or tried to convict Eric Trump 100 times, and none of them were successful. At some point, we have to say some of that had to be lawfare. Okay, if you done went after a dude 130 times and you 0 for 130, like
But
0 for 130.
That's the same thing with Hunter, bro, because they went after Hunter for the same mess that you brought up. They went over.
We got Hunter on tape, bro.
Wait, listen to me. They went after Hunter for the same exact thing that you talked about over in foreign affairs, right? But yes, that's what they went after him for whatever he was doing over in foreign affairs. Now, you know what they got him on? His federal conviction is being in possession of a gun and being on a known drug user. And I'm going to tell you, wait. And I'm going to tell you from experience, because those are charges that I used to try and bring against regular people who were trafficking guns to New York. That's a charge that the most U.S. attorneys don't even want to bother with. But because it's Hunter Biden, they're going to charge it. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
And what I'm saying to you is this: I agree that smoking crack and Jay and a prostitute on camera probably didn't help his cause. I agree. Okay, but what I will also say is that when they wanted to get after that laptop and they was like doing the 2020 election, and they were saying it was Russian disinformation and this, that, and the third. When we finally got to the bottom of it, there was a whole lot on that laptop. And right now, the conversation is, will Trump pardon baby Biden? That's what the conversation is. And that will be hilarious.
You think that's the conversation about pardoning?
I think Hunter Biden, I think that channel.
All of those dudes that committed insurrection, that went to the Capitol, broke windows, stormed the Capitol. So you talking about whether he's going to pardon his son, whether this dude's going to pardon people that tried to turn the government upside down. What about that?
Did they have pistols, man? Did they have tanks? What did they come to the Capitol with?
Some of them had guns. Some had guns.
Earl, you were there, you know.
Some had guns.
What you said,
guns, bro?
Richard, you say he was there?
I mean, we ain't sending nobody after you.
What's dude name?
Earl, we ain't sending nobody after you, but hey, you was there, you was there.
What's dude that got that song? It wasn't me.
Yeah, it wasn't me, Captain.
It wasn't me, right? Shaggy.
Go to the videotape. If you can't find me, man, and I'm not Waldo, I wasn't Nick. How about that?
I gotta assume you from Harlem because you know these dudes for a long time. I'm quite sure you had a hoodie and a hat on, so nobody ain't gonna find you on no video.
Yo, Joyce has a question and a comment. I'm gonna see what you think about this, Earl. How does an alleged sex trafficker and a child molester get nominated for AG? What are all you? Because we haven't even just got into the. We have the second half of this. Get into this cabinet. We might have to come back. We might have to come back on this. But what's your thoughts on this question?
My issue on it simply was this: I thought he was investigated on this a year ago, and no indictments came up out of it. Now, unless there's some new evidence that was completely hidden and now is here for us to analyze what's changed. Okay, now mind you, he was investigated. That wasn't a Republican-dominated investigation. That was Democrats that was running that. They put him through the fire, and they couldn't come up with any charges. Now,
didn't they find that he paid people for silence? It just came out recently that he just gave over $10,000 to I think 2 different people. One thing was just here for you money, trips money and stuff like that. The bottom line is
the cash.
Yes. Is that paying for pleasure, or is that because some of us to different degrees trick? Okay, some of us cash at our little honeys a couple dollars. Okay, now
I ain't cash apping. Nobody knows.
And guess what? And I ain't mad at that. Some of us pimp in different manners and ways, and I respect that. but some of us can't. Okay, some of us have to resort to transactions. Fortunately, I'm not there.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because ain't no brother named B Fly ever had to put that kind of paper on them game. You know what I'm saying? and I say that all due respect, because first and foremost, but when we talk about people running for office, so let me ask you a question. I still have a bunch of comments and questions, but let me just shift this a little bit.
Okay.
And how do you feel? And I'm asking this to the panel, and I'm gonna start with you, Earl, because I know that'll just ignite Rich and Ty. How do you feel about him putting people in positions? You and I have discussed this. Sidebar. He's putting people in positions that have no knowledge, no background in the fields that he's putting them. The only person that right now that has any kind of background is what's the tough guy, the border czar.
The borders are right.
Yeah, he's a little tough guy. He's always tough on TV. I always say, I tell a lot of Trump people, and I'm telling you right now, for those that are watching, yo, be careful with your verbs and adjectives, because Trump has security, you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like your knuckle game is might not be up to standard when it comes to talking reckless in the street. So be careful how you disrespect people or say what you want to say. See, this is my brother right here, so I would never disrespect him. If I felt like I was even getting close to that, I want to dead that conversation, because I respect him too much as a man. You understand what I'm trying to say? We all do. That's why him and Rich had just went back and showed their history and stuff like that. I mean, this is why I invite anybody to come on Real Talk and have these conversations, because the bottom line is we're going to talk and we're going to say what we're going to say, whether you like it or not. We could agree to disagree, but ain't nobody calling nobody out on no disrespectful shit. But what I am saying here is that, please, money talking tough. He was like, yo, I'll separate families. And I'm going to say this, for those that voted for him, Hispanic, Asians, whoever, if he take your family members and shit like that, yo, I don't feel sorry. I don't feel sorry. Because I'm not going out in no fields picking no agriculture and shit like that. That's not me. I don't have to do that. Trump in office or out of office is not affecting the four of us right here. It's not happening. We're all set, unless he starts messing with Social Security or pensions and shit like that. Otherwise than that, he's not affecting me.
Hey, Bill, I got to tell you this. I got a friend of mine. He owns a couple of restaurants, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just about his whole staff is illegal immigrants.
They shook.
He calls me up after election day. He said, "Yeah, my man Trump won. Yeah. He gonna change all this shit up." I said, "Yeah, he started your job too, because all the motherfuckers have working for you, they get ready to get exported."
Absolutely, you gonna lose your whole crew.
Nah. I said, "Who you thought he was talking about?"
The whole kit and caboodle. So yeah, with the question back on hand, and then I'll go back to some of the comments. But with the question back in hand, Earl, and like I said, I'll start with you, and then I'll let the fellas join in. What do you think about him putting people in office besides old boy that have no background in any of the positions?
Give me an example, because I think most of them have experience, but the pushback is, do we think it's enough experience, or to what degree the experience happened? Like me and you had a conversation on the Robert Kennedy one.
Right.
I said, yo, he's been fighting with Big Pharma and the FDA for the last 25, 30 years. Okay, he done taken them to court, sued. He has represented families when the kids got the autism from that they said was from the vaccines or this, that, and the third. He's got a passion and some practical experience in that field. So I don't feel that he's inexperienced. Okay. And here's the overriding conversation or principle that I think Trump is trying to do. And hindsight is going to say whether he's successful or not.
Understood.
He is basically saying there is so much corruption, there's so much good old boy such and such. The only chance I have to be successful is having people that I truly believe ain't part of the old boy network. The reason why Trump gets the heat that he gets, first Republican and Democrat, and now Democrat, is because he's not in the old boy committee. Okay, like one of the most fascinating books you can get is that Letters to Trump book, where you see all these damn letters people done wrote him, kissing the ring. This was before he ran for president. Like I forgot what the dinner was. It was Chuck Schumer was there, and he said, I wrote Chuck Schumer's first, I'm the first person to give Chuck Schumer some money, okay, or something like 200,000. Like you would never know that Trump actually started him off by the way he be talking about Trump. And I just find like he's
No,
just
because
not a, he's just not in the go along to get along crew.
but
And
so he was a Democrat though, right? Before he ran for president.
Yeah, he was a Democrat. Can I just show this video real quick before you answer?
Okay, yeah. If you know how to share your screen, I'll share your screen.
The best I could do is just show it here.
All right, go ahead.
And this is Hakeem Jeffries questioning the guy who he picked to run NATO, right?
Go ahead.
okay.
Hold it up. Oh, yeah, right there.
We're all trying to figure out who are you.
I'm sorry.
Yo, tell them girls they gotta call you later.
No, ain't nobody call me. That I hit the button with my finger.
Everybody, this is Real Talk
Hopefully
Chronicles.
it was not transaction based.
The Department of Justice. So hopefully you can help me work through this confusion. All right, well, Congressman, Mr. Whitaker, that was a statement, not a question. Okay. I assume you know the difference. Mr. Whitaker, thank you for your presence here today. This hearing is important because there are many Americans throughout the country who are confused. I'm confused. I really am. We're all trying to figure out who are you, where did you come from, and how the heck did you become the head of the Department of Justice? So hopefully you can help me work through this confusion. All right, well, Congressman, Mr. Whitaker, that was a statement, not a question. Okay. I assume you know the difference. Mr. Whitaker, thank you for your presence.
And that was on C-SPAN, the channel you watch.
I like watching C-SPAN.
I was just letting you know.
You just mentioned it. You just put it out there in the universe.
What happened to the response?
Right.
Oh, that's all they put up. I ain't show you the whole thing.
Exactly. Thank you for sharing that, because I think another part of the problem in these discussions is that I think a lot of us don't even know when they're listening to far left news publications versus right, or more importantly, who is actually in the middle, where you can actually get a nuanced perspective on certain things. So a lot of us get our positions on what the truth is because we've been listening mostly to one side. Like, if you watch MSNBC, you're getting a far left perspective, period. It's not even a discussion. If you're listening to CNN, you're listening to left leaning. Okay. If you're listening to Fox, you're listening to right. What's the problem? Who are the people in the middle are you listening to? Who are those publications?
I get it.
And most of us don't have not one neutral central in our whole little information gathering, and we wind up being in these echo chambers. Okay,
I like to believe, not to cut you, but I like to believe when you listen to ABC,
left.
No, wait, but they bring others in from the right, and they go back and forth. Even on The View, you have
far left.
You have two women on there that are Republicans.
The View is for, and those the two ladies that are right leaning, they are treated as opposition. You see the
Anna's Republican. Anna Navarro's
no, but they're treated as opposition. What I mean is this: if I'm like, you remember the old saying, there's three sides to a story, his side, their side, and the truth. I'm saying most of us never get to that middle to understand. Like, I remember having a conversation with Bill about this. I said, name some a news station or a news organization in the middle you listen to that and most people can't name one. Okay, it's just the truth. So when you are saying what you're saying, I'm not trying to act like you don't believe it or you're not intelligent, but most of your information is coming from one side, and it's kind of hard to believe that you can get all your information from one source and that you would have some balanced understanding of something that's nuanced to begin with.
So let me just ask this question before I yield back to the fellas. Go ahead. Hold on, Rich. So Earl, who are the information seekers that you listen to that you think we all should, the unbiased people that we should all listen to?
I like the news aggregator Ground News because they give you left and right perspectives. They tell you what the left is saying and what they not saying. They tell you what the right is saying and what they not saying. They tell you which news organizations or where they stand in this left, right, and center universe. I like Epoch Times because they're in the middle. There's there's All Sites Media where they break down every damn news organization, where they stand on that spectrum. I think all of us should know where those organizations stand. Like, here's an easy one. Everybody, if you're from New York, you know the Post is conservative, right? Don't nobody got to tell you that. You know that. That's an easy one. Okay. We know the Times is more liberal. Okay, it's certainly left leaning. We know that, but
where do you put the news?
Where those places in the middle we're getting information? Where
do you put the Daily News at? If you put
I would say the Daily News is not in the middle. I would say it's left leaning. Yes, I say it's left leaning.
So is it left leaning because you don't like what they're saying, or they're left leaning because I'm just asking a question. I'm not disputing you.
What I'm saying to you is this: instead of us banting about it, I say, do yourself a favor, subscribe to Ground News. They'll spread it all out for you. You can see who's on the left, you can see who's on the right, you can see who's on the middle. Okay, and then you can look for yourself and say, I usually listen to these. I never listen to those, and such and so on thing. Okay, I think if we are truly invested in getting to the truth, understanding a situation, figuring out what we need to do, what's the right course of action, then we have to, some of our source information has to come from places that are as less polluted as we can get it. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna bring Rich in, but let me just say something. Earl said to me one time, he sent me something about a podcaster, and I was like, yo, you listening to a podcaster? He said, well, you're a podcaster. I had to yield back. I had to yield back on that one because he was right. Yo, Rich, what's your thoughts on Earl said, and then also, what do you think about what's the dude right now, Matt Gaetz? Is that it's on? They're talking about he got the white supremacy stuff going on his chest, and then I want to read Mark's question, but I want Richard to chime in here.
Well, I agree with some of what Earl said, but I believe in listening. You can listen to whoever you want to listen to, but you still got to fact check them, because that's everybody's opinion from where they sitting at. Like I said before, I listen to CNN, but at the same time, I listen to what they said, and I'll switch over to Fox, and I listen to what they got to say, and I see in the middle of that what both of them are not saying.
Absolutely.
And that's
because a lot of times we get so caught up into what somebody else's opinion is.
Yes.
We don't let the reality of what you just heard sink in. You know? So again, I'm in partial agreement with what Earl said. But
yes,
we
absolutely.
all got to figure out, what's going on and get full disclosure of what really happened and what's really happening,
Right.
right? In real time. So we need the facts about this and the facts about that. But then at the end of the day, what does that mean to you? You know, how is that going to affect you? Like, I'm not chasing down Hunter Biden because of what they want to arrest him for. I don't give a fuck about Hunter. You know, he went over there, smoked some crack, and told him, yeah, my daddy's the fucking president. Look out for me. I expect him to do that, you know?
But first, Rich, let's keep it 100. Who wouldn't throw a name out there?
Exactly. You know? And any of Trump people don't think they ain't doing it. Yo, Trump's my man. Trump got me. Like, look at the guy that was the police commissioner. His brother looked just like him. Ran around, told me, yeah, my brother's a police commissioner. Yo, bow down. You know, people do that. You know, but at the end of the day, how is that going to affect me as a constituent? You know, at the ground level. You know, most of us worry so much about who our president is, we don't even know who our local politicians are or what their job description is. You know, you got people that are running up expecting one politician to do this, a politician to do that. At the end of the day, we voted them in office. We can vote them out of office. But we make the ballot, we go there, we pull the lever, walk away thinking like, oh, our problems are solved, you know, because my man got voted in. No, you voted him in to represent you. That's like I hired a motherfucker to fix my toilet because shit is in there overflowing. He's my man. He comes in, he talks to me, talks bullshit. Yeah, my man, yo, we talk about basketball. Then at the end of the day, I leave, he leaves. I paid him, but my toilet is still fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what are we doing here? You know, a politician is interested in two things: getting elected and getting reelected.
Staying elected.
Right? Now,
Real talk.
Who elects them? We do. They come in, they say whatever they need to say to get that seat, and then they're gone.
Yep.
Right? And they left out there to do whatever the fuck they want to do, make whatever deals that best suit them, you know? And I'm speaking of politicians, not a politician, politicians.
Yeah. Keep it 100.
Now,
yeah, absolutely.
The ones that keep it 100 is the ones, for the most part, are really in the most controversy about their decisions that they make. You know?
Yeah.
Some people play it safe. Trump is out there, way out there.
But
he's
like
repping,
in terms of American politics,
he's repping his people to the fullest.
Who do you?
All right? For
think
better
that
or worse.
I feel, but this is the way I feel. I feel like there's no one pulling Trump's strings. No one is controlling Trump. Okay. And whether we like it or not, I'd rather have a politician that I don't feel is under the thumb of secret hands. Okay. To me, Trump is a throwback. Okay. All of us are men of a certain age.
Yeah.
We had fathers. They said whatever the fuck they wanted to say.
Yeah.
And if you didn't like it, you could either leave or put your little hands up. Okay.
Yeah. But see, the thing is with that, Earl, you can't hold on, Ty. But see, with Trump, you can't put your hands up because he got security.
So let me ask you a question. Why would you, and this is a rhetorical question, why would you think that in God's name, Trump, no one's pulling Trump's strings? Trump got all that money for his election. He got back.
Not more than Kamala.
Yo,
Trump.
No, you heard what I said.
Trump,
she got a billion. She got a billion.
He still got back. You understand what I'm saying, Earl?
Right. But
and all the people and all the companies that backed him can pull his string. Okay. And the individuals, the top 3% that's behind him, like Elon Musk, okay, and Bill Gates, that are behind him, they could pull his string. Whether you choose to admit it or not, they can pull his string.
If he had that kind of backing, most of this lawfare would have never got off the ground. Like I don't What's your man that was in the DOJ and then came to the New York DA to try Trump? Okay,
Alvan. I'm not Alvan.
Not Al Bragg, the other dude.
The young guy, the young black guy.
Yeah.
Al Bragg.
who leaves the deal?
I'm sorry, what's his name? Rich? Alvin Bragg or something?
Alvin Bragg, right?
It's the
Who
same
leaves
guy.
the number 3 at the DOJ? At the DOJ, you at the top. You in the top spot. Who leaves that? You guys are career decorated officers. Straight up.
Uh-huh.
Who leaves the DOJ at number 3 to go to New York DA, bro? For real?
Somebody who wants the position.
No,
There's a lot of
somebody.
people. There's a lot of people that step down for a position. Look at Eric Adams. Eric Adams stepped down from being a senator to being a borough president. From borough president to become a mayor. It's all on the personal
Right.
aspirations.
But
it's all based on someone's personal
but in the vacuum of enforcement and such, it's DOJ and everything else.
No,
It-
Earl.
No,
in
but it's
politics,
different.
they all do
It's
that.
different.
There are a lot.
You know,
There are term limits. They got term limits. You get voted in, you get voted out, and you just move laterally or up or down the notch. But you stay in the ring.
Yes.
You stay in the ring of politics.
Yes.
So you move from here to there.
Then let's examine the case. Then let me say this to you. This is my understanding of it. Correct me where you see fit. My understanding is Letitia James said that that Trump improperly listed his assets to get a favorable loan, and for that he is in trouble. Now, the bank said the bank never made a complaint. The bank made its money. The bank said, as far as they knew, his assets were listed correctly. But if they truly are the number that you say, it wouldn't have changed our interest rate or us approving the loan, the interest rate, or the length of the loan.
That's based on his relationship with the bank. That's why.
But the point is, that's the basis of his felonies. That's the basis of his felonies. Okay.
Would you have been charged for that?
No, it's actually it's basically a misdemeanor, and they are arguing that the statute of limitations had already passed.
Earl,
That's beside
anything
the
over a
point.
certain amount is never a misdemeanor. Anything over a certain
Look,
amount is not a misdemeanor.
And any sort of government fraud or any sort of bank fraud.
That wasn't
You would have been under the jail.
It's not. If it was you,
I need you to listen again. What I'm saying to you is, Trump, as someone that wanted a loan, went to a bank. The bank and Trump agreed to this loan. Okay. Any of us that's gotten a loan,
false information.
It wasn't just about the loan, Earl. It was also his taxes. There's a lot of stuff he did. They wouldn't have been able to get the
He falsified documents to get a loan. I know people that are in jail for that, Earl. So don't say it's a misdemeanor. I know somebody that's in jail for that.
And again, look, you don't have to take my word for it. I think I sent the article. I think I sent the article to Bill. Hold up. I think I sent the article to Bill. The judge, these are the questions that the judge was asking on that appeal. This is what the judge was asking. So, like, throw me under the bus. If I'm the sacrifice, fine. But this is what the judge was asking the damn attorneys for for New York about this case. That's what they said.
You're talking about a man that was once the president, right? Who has a whole judicial system that he put in place.
The loan actually happened. The loan. Don't give me the line. I think the loan was in 2015. But I got to go back.
Yeah, it was. But it came out like now because they came after him, right? But that doesn't change the fact that of what he did. Whatever happened, he did it.
Well, I tell you, just like the judge said the bank had no complaints. They both are satisfied parties. The bank didn't make this the bank didn't make this complaint. Bank didn't say, "Yo, Trump fucked us over." The bank
No,
was
but what
happy.
he did was the move he made the bank whole, right? The move he made
What?
them whole, but that doesn't change the fact that he did what he did illegally.
The bank
Well,
would never.
the judge
The
hearing
bank
the
would
appeal.
never.
All I'm saying is the
It
judge
don't
hearing the
change what he
appeal
did,
asked
Earl.
this exact question. So I can't be but so crazy. This is
No,
what the judge
that's
said.
white folks saying that we got our money, so we good.
The bank would
And,
never go against
and
Trump
they
in that
asked the
situation.
bank, with the difference that they're saying in what was stated and what eventually they proved it wasn't or said it wasn't,
Okay,
would it have
I
changed
agree
the
with you,
loan?
Earl. But what I'm saying to you is, if that was you or me, we would have went to jail. So they
Yes.
were justified in pursuing legal action against him, and he
They
was
would've- yeah.
guilty of it. All right.
Well,
So
then
I'm not
all I
arguing
can
that
say is
what you're
let's.
saying. All I'm
Well,
saying that
your
is that
man
if there
Alvin
was
Bragg,
another person,
what he
they would have
said
went to
was,
jail.
we don't make a judgment on this till after 2029. He's trying to save this that case. I'm interested to see whether it's thrown out or not, or what happens.
So
Like I
let me
said,
just say this: do you think now that because he's the president elect, you think a lot of things won't be thrown out because of that?
I think, well, the DOJ, that's what they said. They have a long-standing where they don't try to prosecute active presidents. So that some of the stuff that they were doing, I think, will kind of lay down and die. But
All of
what
that
I'm
is the
saying
case.
to you is when you think about all the cases they've thrown at him, he done got shot once. They tried to shoot him a second time. Like, he done been
I'm
through some
glad you said
shit.
that. Do you really think that was a assassination on him?
Yeah, because the people responsible for protecting them was Democratic controlled. Okay, he couldn't have put that together.
So let me ask you a
Hey
question,
yo,
Earl.
hey
Earl,
yo,
hold on,
Earl.
Reg, hold on.
Do you know the caliber bullet that they shot at this motherfucker's ear? He should not have an ear.
Hey,
He don't even have a sign that he was ever shot in his ear.
not as they say in on the farm, not near none scar. You know what I'm saying?
And you can't tell a security detail whether they're Democratic or Republican put together to stand down and let somebody crawl up on the roof and take a shot at a president or have a rifle in that situation.
well,
Earl,
go back. Well, go back on.
let me just say this.
A lot of
Go back
them.
on C-SPAN. Hold up. Go back on C-SPAN like you did the first time, and look at that hearing when the Trump team was asking for more help and they said nah.
Okay, I saw that, and I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
Okay,
But a lot of, first of all, a lot of that transpired fell on the local and state police that were there. It didn't fall on the security detail. And I'm telling you, from being in these situations, that first of all, the area is cleared before he even comes by state, local, and Secret Service,
And
right?
Ty, let me interject. Just one second. Earl, you are talking to two people that have worked extensively all the time with the State Department and the FBI. So that's why him and I have such a strong conviction about this. So go ahead, Ty.
Bill, wait a minute,
I am aware of that. All I am saying is you have no proof that it was an inside that Trump orchestrated that. So we have to, until proven otherwise, we have to say someone made an attempt.
I didn't say he orchestrated.
I'll go with that verbiage. All
I'm saying is this: there's a lot of suspect situations that occurred around that acclaimed assassination attempt, and I'm telling you because you don't know what's in the headspace of every state or local PD that's out there. You don't know if they're right or left. You don't know if they're a Trump supporter, and that goes for the same for the Secret Service. And I'm telling you that the city and local PD were
So
responsible.
why the girl was forced to resign?
The girl wasn't forced. She stepped down. She was forced. She was
No,
forced.
hold up. Nope.
She stepped. She
You
stepped
watch
down.
C-SPAN, don't you? You saw those hearings.
Yes, listen, Earl, listen. Everything that gets said in the media is not what's said behind the scenes. Just understand that, okay? And when you have that mindset, just know this. It happens on her watch. She's the head person in charge, even if she wasn't there, which she wasn't. She stepped down. Understand it. She was not even there, but she's the head person. So like they say with the president, the buck stops here. But the president that we got in the office getting ready to go in office right now, never wants to take accountability for anything. Okay.
And let me piggyback off what Ty said. Ty, let me just piggyback off what you said. Earl, in the police department and certain things like this, I'm gonna give you a two-pronged thing. A commander of a precinct could be home on vacation and something real severe happens in his precinct. They'll ship him out because he's just a commanding officer. Ty knows that for a fact, like with me, right? Also, too, in another breath, she wasn't even there. The site supervisor should have been in trouble. It went straight to her in lieu of, what happened? So wait a minute. I'm just a director. When have you seen something happen in a precinct? Let's keep it local. When have you seen something happen in a precinct level in the 5 boroughs? And because it happened in the 5 boroughs, they said, the police commissioner needs to resign.
Never. Yep,
Okay.
but I guess when they pay you that kind of money, they expect you to have all bases covered. And at those C-SPAN hearings, Bill, just let me say this: at those C-SPAN hearings, when I say they came for her neck, asking her tough questions, why you didn't approve the extra security, why this, why that, they went for her neck, D.
And
I'm not disputing that.
Bosses. She covered for not her bosses, her underbosses who were out there and who were responsible. So she took the heat. And a lot of situations, a lot of people at her level don't do that.
And guess what? Just piggybacking on something else that you said, if I remember right, she didn't even have a whole lot of experience, if any, in enforcement, security, and all that other stuff. She didn't have, her resume didn't speak to that.
At that level where she's at, it's political. It's not even the people. It's a political thing.
So, fellas, I think we're spending too much time on this chick. All right.
Okay. All right. So let's listen. I want to cover a few. We got 10 minutes left because we're going on to 2 hours. Earl, you're welcome to come back next week. This is a great conversation. I appreciate you. I kind of asked you, would you do it? You was like, yeah. Matter of fact, before I go someplace, everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster, with my co-hosts, Rich and Ty, and my special guest. We're going to bring Earl back. Earl Majette, Brother Earl, affectionately known. I want to read something. People got a lot of stuff to say, and I want to give them their props and stuff like that. Yeah, let's see. Okay.
Why?
Hold on. Let me say. Okay, Derek said nothing. Korea. Stefania said we have nothing. Okay, she said. I think I read this. I'm just going to read these. If there's any topic, any one of you guys want to jump on, we can do that. Stefania said we have problems here in the USA. We don't. I think I might have read that already. Yeah. Mark said, okay, what did Trump do for the Black community? He's a man that made.
You read that one.
You read that one.
All right, let me go. Keep going. My man, God.
Shout out to Rose Mark, man. He is active, boy.
Yeah, yo, listen, you're talking to a military brother that knows about it. Joy said Trump's entire family involved in illegal activities. Yeah, okay, let's see. I think I'll put these. Let me go down this line. Okay, let's see. Stefania says this. I don't think I posted that. I don't think Biden liked her because he definitely threw her under the bus a few times when he was asked if she had any restrictions. He said no things. Okay. Maybe he did. I don't know. She was tasked to engage with the foreign governments to help these governments help their economics to stop people from leaving. Let's see, Lord Jesus. My man Guy, he says, yo, you maggots for all to recognize that the Republicans have not done thing to help Black people in the country since 1960 that stood against civil rights, 1950s and 60s. He also says, Republicans have not. Oh, I read that again. Let me see. Mark has a specific question for you. Stefania says this. She says they came in with the border already secure. Why touch it? Stefania, what do you mean the border was secure? Secure by who?
I think she's saying is that when Biden and Harris came in, the border was secure. They changed with Biden made an executive decision. I think soon as he got in office, that started the ball rolling.
First and foremost, what happened to the wall? The wall hasn't been built.
No, it wasn't built.
But let's not act like there wasn't crazy pushback for that wall. Like he was fought on that wall.
And when
he had the power in Congress to get the wall built.
The first 2 years he did. First he wanted Mexico to pay for it, but they fought on that wall.
But Earl, hold on. That's the bamboozle.
He actually promised us
that's the bamboozle.
Pay for it.
That's the bamboozle. I asked you to come out to hang out with me for some drinks, and then when we get there, I say, yo, you got to pay for it. You like, yo, you asked me to come out. You know what I'm saying? Or not even worse, you two guys, you ask a girl, let's go out on a date.
No,
I'm gonna take you out on a date. And then and when you get out on a date, you're like, yo, you pay for the meal and the dinner.
But no matter how you categorize it, no matter how you categorize it, the migrant situation has gotten worse.
I didn't dispute that.
I know. So whatever Trump did or didn't do, at least there was some measure of success.
You know what they stopped doing? I'll tell you exactly what they stopped doing. They stopped throwing people in concentration camps. And I call them concentration camps because that's what they were. They were taking people who were coming across the border and they were throwing them in those encampments like they had in Miami when they had the big Cuba rush of people coming over to the United States. And they tried to decipher who was who in those camps. But guess what? They couldn't, and they wound up letting people out because you know what happened? This is what happens because we have that type of government. You have individuals in there that may have people here already. They got ties to some sort of state or federal government agency or people in those governments, and they pay a certain amount of money and they get cleared, even if they're in those camps. But that's what they were doing. They were holding them in those camps and they were separating families.
Look, we can have an elongated discussion on how we're supposed to treat people that enter in our country illegally. My points, but here's my other real point, like how y'all have areas of expertise and interest. As someone that has done work in jails and in shelters and helping Black men get on their feet and get housing, I'm here to tell you that what we were giving those migrants was way, way, way more substantial than we were giving homeless people, American citizens. And
Earl, let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. I totally agree. Yeah, nobody here, I don't think anybody that knows what's going on in the world will disagree with that. Totally agree. The bottom line is, it still has nothing to do with what Trump didn't do.
Or did.
Thank
you, Ty.
Look, he kept it. Look, they're saying that since Biden Harris has been in somewhere between 10 to 15 million.
Go back to what I said. Trump did not do anything.
He didn't have 10, 15 million come in. No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
You never heard me say. See, this is why I always say, and this is no disrespect to you, but this is why sometimes I always tell people, let's stay with the facts. When I say apples, you don't have to say oranges. Let's stay on the course of apples. I'm talking about Trump and what he did do or he didn't do. He did not do anything. He did not build a wall. Now, when we talk about the Biden-Harris administration, if you want to talk about that, did it get lax? I'm not going to dispute that. But the bottom line is he didn't do anything. Let's call a bird a bird.
Then let's define do anything. If I'm saying to you that while he was president, the sheer number of migrants getting into the country was less than it is now, you have to give him some credit for some margin of success.
You ain't going nowhere.
No, but I told you why they weren't coming in.
And I'm telling you,
you're saying success. It wasn't success. It's just a difference in numbers. It's just like the NBA now. Like everybody shoots 3-pointers. The game is the game more exciting because somebody shoots 3-pointers? I mean, come on. Like the bottom line is it's more scoring.
Well, let me say. Let me just say this. Okay, you know what? One of the big
minute of this show. Can we say something constructive and close this show out? Because I got to get out of here.
Okay, all right. Let me just read this. Okay, Earl. This question was asked to you. Mark said, please ask Brother Earl if it's truly respect as a poet and a fellow Cowboy fan. How does he feel about Trump eventually eliminating the Department of Education? CRT has been a scare tactic for the Trumpers. In several states, it's clear you can't describe our true history without saying slavery. More importantly, we were kings and queens at some point. This will not only affect our kids, but the already ignorant other folks. Dr. Adele Sanford and others of her cloth will raise hell.
First and foremost, what I'm going to say is Black history is American history. So I personally think that our achievements or what we have done for this country should be part of like, it doesn't have to be segregated. It should be part of
the curriculum.
Part of the curriculum. So so that's my position on that. Now, as it relates to the Department of Education, what they're trying to do, that's why he got Vanswamy and Musk together. They're trying to eliminate waste. They're saying that the government we're spending way too much money on the bureaucracy, and we're not getting the success for our buck. Most of us don't even realize the damn Department of Education was only formed in like 1979. Okay, and at the time that the Department of Education was formed, the United States was #1 in education in the world. Okay, for the $64 million question, what do you think America ranks in education right now? I tell you what, it ain't in the top 30.
But that's
okay.
That's because America's been teaching what they wanted to.
I answered the question. The point I said simply is that they're not eliminating education. They're trying to streamline the bureaucracy. He said, I'm going to give back the power to
taking out the fact that they wanted to put in the educational piece to let students know how this country was formed on the backs of Black people and the atrocities that white people did to Black people. They're removing that out of the curriculum on the premise it's going to make white children feel some kind of way. And you're saying what?
I started off in the beginning. I said Black history is American history.
And they're removing that out of the history book.
No.
And changing it. They're trying to change it. And remember this, whoever controls the language controls the conversation. And I'm telling you, if they change our history and the way things really would, because they've changed it, or it's been changed already. Because if you look at the education system, when you start off in school, the first thing they start teaching you is about the Pilgrims and the Indians. Right? They ain't telling you about Black people being here in America already.
Kings and queens.
Exactly. Can I help you with something? If the education is in the state, it is closer to us being able to control or have some say in the curriculum. If it's in the state, okay, he said, I am bringing it in the state's hands. So the same local politicians that you talked about, Rich, that we need to get to know and make sure they're on our agenda. That is more important. Them bringing education to the state makes those people even more important, makes those people even more vital. So,
yeah, but Earl, in this situation, that means that if I live in a state that's predominantly white, that my education experience is going to be different because of majority rules.
Yep.
So that means that they can tell the story any way they want to tell it because it's more them than me. And is that right?
I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right, but guess what? We all
they say put it down to the state level where the majority rules in that state, and if it's overwhelmingly white, they're going to tell the history the way they want to tell it. And
well,
the law says they can do it because they put it to a state level.
If it's at the state level, it probably will be parceled out within that state. Okay. I'm saying it's easier for us to make our feelings, thoughts, case made when it's closer to home, in my opinion.
It has to be dealt with on a national scale, because if it wasn't going to happen like that, we would probably be still living in the Jim Crow era. Because if you leave outside of these big cities like Atlanta, New York, and so on, you will really realize that we are truly the minority when it comes to the amount of black people and people of color that live in this country. And if you go into these Midwestern cities, I went to school in Texas, in Waco. You know how many black people I saw back in 1978 in Waco? Five. So all I'm saying to you is, if you're leaving it up to the majority and you bring it down to the local level, that doesn't make it right.
But it should give us a better chance at shaping what it is, because it's closer to us.
Not when you get introduced to these boards in these states and in these
how those boards get hired? How do they get on those boards?
Listen. I want to tell you this. Where the money is at, right? And this is back to money again, right? Some of the best schools in those districts, and when I say the best schools with the best grades,
it's 905.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna let Todd finish. I'm gonna let Todd say what he got to say. I'm gonna let you say what you got to say. And I'm gonna let Earl close out.
They're getting the best of computers. They're getting the best of trainings. These schools, the people that sit on those boards in those districts are not like us. They don't look like us, and they prefer, and this is what I've heard even on C-SPAN, they prefer to move out of the curriculum teaching about history of how everything in this world came about and what the roles we played, the roles Asians played, the positive roles that Hispanics have played actually in this country. It don't start with slavery, okay? And that's what they have you believe. So rather than that, they rather, let's not focus on that because it brings our kids' self-esteem down. Let's focus on this. And there's nothing you could do about it. And you got black people in those communities and Hispanic people in those communities that may not have the mindset to see what's coming from that. And they'll be like, you know what, you're right. Go ahead. And once that becomes law, that's it. That's it.
Go ahead. Rich, close out.
I'm closing out, brother. I got to get up out of here, man.
Okay, well, first of all, let me just say this, Earl. You're more than welcome to come back next week. We want to still talk about the cabinets. Earl, first and foremost, I appreciate you, brother, I immensely for coming in, standing your ground, speaking your truth and your feelings. You know, I think it was an excellent conversation. I'm sure when I look at the numbers of people that watched this, it was phenomenal. I always say for the ghost lookers, you're always welcome to join in. Don't let that man stand on his truth and his feelings by himself. I mean, he held court. It was just like, yo, we on the basketball court. He gonna throw his hands up, or he gonna try to score on all three of people, and I respect that. So with that being said, this is Real Talk Chronicles. Rich, give some positive affirmation before you get out of here. Earl, come back Wednesday. Rich, say something. Ty and Earl close out, and I'll finish it.
Hey, listen, I think we had a strong conversation.
Yeah.
We got a real Republican here that ain't even white. This is real talk for you, boy.
Yeah.
Look, I just want to say this. I said this to Bill one time doing some of our mini back and forth behind the scenes. Look, Malcolm X didn't trust Democrats and liberals. He said that they are the worst because they pretend to be on your side and not. That's what Malcolm X said. Okay, I'm not saying he was.
Tell him the year he said it though. Don't because it's a long time ago.
And guess what? And ain't nothing changed. And ain't nothing changed.
Matter of opinion.
Well,
We'll
nothing concrete.
about it next week. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, we can't keep going back and forth with this, man. Earl, we closing out.
Yeah.
Well, guess what, man?
Earl, hold on. Give people some positive affirmation, and then I'm going to Ty, and then we out.
The positive affirmation is look. Positive affirmation is love is as love does. Real brothers can disagree without being disagreeable. Okay, absolutely. Because love and respect are supposed to go hand in hand. Okay, these are opinions, feelings. Oh, yes, we support and stand our ground. We can banty about, but when this is over, we're gonna still be brothers. I'm gonna still be at Row House, okay, tossing him back, and we're gonna be all right. Okay.
That's my G. That's my dude. Exactly. Ty, give some positive affirmation, King.
Election's been done. He's coming in. Whatever is gonna be done is gonna be done. Us as men, we just need to get our affairs, our neighborhoods, and our communities in order to the best of our ability.
Rich?
What he said.
All right. Everybody, listen, this is Real Talk Chronicles. If you watched it from Facebook, please share it. If you watched it from YouTube, subscribe to it. If you didn't watch it from YouTube, go to YouTube and subscribe to it. Build the content. This is what it is. This is positive affirmation. This is the only place where you get in this kind of conversation from real men having real conversations. Hopefully next week we'll have Kev and Chuck in, or anybody that you want to join the party, come in and have a conversation. I appreciate all my kings. This is Bill Foster. This is Real Talk Chronicles. Ty Butler, Rich Frazier, Brother Earl, my guys. I love you. I'll talk to you later on. I know Earl and I'll be talking in a minute. Rich and I'll be talking in a minute. Ty and I'll be talking in a minute. I see y'all soon. Everybody, peace, love, respect. Row House. We out.
One. Yes.
Peace.
Peace.